Hey friends, Jenn here from the Oxijen podcast. If you are new to my following, welcome. I am a mind and body fitness and lifestyle expert of over 27 years, helping hundreds of people transform their lives to feeling better and living better. And in this episode, I am sharing top 5 tips on how to navigate the holidays. Are you ready? I know I'm excited. It's probably one of my favorite holidays, Thanksgiving, coming up. I love it so much because there's no expectations of gifts. It's really just about coming together, celebrating, having gratitude for family, food. It's such a beautiful time. But in that time, there's a lot of temptations. So in this episode, I am going to share my 5 top tips to maintaining your health through the holidays. Number 1, stick to your routine. What does that mean? That means if you are the type of person that works out on a Thursday morning, make sure you get up and still work out, even though you're going to be going to family gatherings or friends gatherings, whatever it is. Sticking to your routines during the holidays is really important. Our routines and our habits are what anchors us through life. It helps us when things are coming at us. It really helps us maintain our sense of being. It gives us discipline. So number 1, whatever you normally do on a Thursday, make sure you're doing that first thing in the morning. For me, I'm going to be lifting and doing either the bike or the rower, which I love, and then taking my boys for a walk and then celebrating with my family. So whatever your routine, make sure you're doing that on the holiday. Number 2, what are your non-negotiables? For me, my non-negotiables every day is number 1, moving my body. Number 2, making sure that I read something positive or inspirational in the morning, that I'm meditating, and I'm also practicing my deep breathing, and I drink a gallon of water every day. Those are non-negotiables. Non-negotiables mean that whatever is happening in life, you are still going to do those habits because you know they make you feel good. You know that they ensure that you're going to have a great day. And for me, those are my non-negotiables. Number 1, stick to your routine. Number 2, non-negotiables. What are they for you? And if it's a new term, define it. What is something that you are not willing to forego, even if it's a holiday, because you know it makes you feel so good? Number 3, front load the day with water. What does that mean? I know for most people, when we get to the holidays, there's maybe some cocktails or mocktails or whatever it is that we start to drink when we're around friends and families. And when we're drinking those things, and maybe it's even tea or coffee, we're not drinking as much water as we normally do during the day. So being the holiday, make sure you're really drinking a lot of water before you get to the holiday. And then I always pack a big thing of water in my car. So even if I'm not drinking a lot of water during the event, once I get into my car, I will drink the entire container from the car ride where I am to home. So that's a good helpful tip, is drinking water prior to the event and then making sure you have water after the event, and really do try to have water during the event. The more water you have, the better it is for your body, the better you're going to feel. I think we're on number 4. Number 4, decide what you're going to have. Decide what the day looks like for you. Meaning, are you going to go all out on the holiday and just indulge? I mean, by all means, go for it, but go for it without guilt. There's a tendency for some of us to feel guilty. I know I used to feel guilty around eating certain foods. I don't do that anymore because here's what I know. If we're eating the food that's not the best for us, that's already one thing. But then if we add a layer of guilt, now we're putting an emotion to it. We're physically telling our body that not only is this food not good for the body, but now we're like embracing the not good. And then we're oozing out all this not good energy. I hope that's making sense. So if you're going to indulge, if that is your intention for the day, is to really go in and this is like the one time a year you love all these foods, then go for it and do it without guilt. Here's another suggestion. You can always take a smaller plate and still go for those favorite holiday foods, but not as much. What I know to be true is the first bite and the third helping is all the same taste. So can you slow down and savor the foods this holiday season? Can you take notice of the time and energy that went into preparation of these foods? There's a lot of love that goes into the holidays, and the people prepare for days on end for this beautiful event. So can you take the time to really appreciate the foods that are in front of you? Again, deciding what is it going to be for you. Maybe it's I'm going to eat my proteins first with lots of greens, and then I'm going to have a little dessert. Whatever it is, decide before you go in, because then there's no confusion. A confused mind is a lost mind. When we are confused, it's like our energy is leaking all over the place. When we have a clear direction, a clear intention, we know what to expect. It's very focused, it's very direct in the energy. So you're going to stick to your routines. Non-negotiables, what are they? Define them. Front load your water. And do decide, what is it going to look like for you? Is it all in on the holiday foods? Or are you sticking to your routines and you might just have a little dessert? No judging, just decide. The other thing is, make sure you're moving your body. If we were to think of the whole day, they say you eat the turkey and then you want to take a nap, which, okay, I get it. A big meal, you're going to want to take a nap. But can you instead stand up, walk around, maybe help with the dishes, the tables? I know I like to do that when I'm at holidays. I remember, years and years ago when my cousins and I were younger, we used to walk around the block after dinner. Or back in the day when my grandmother had a little bike in her bedroom, we would do the bike just to move our body. At the end of the day, we all want to feel good. And I know once we're eating, you feel good, but it's like, how are you going to feel the day after, later on that day? Here's the other thing. It's a holiday. And I don't know about you, excuse me, but my holiday started last week. We have a big family, and who's in college, who's having babies. And so there's more than one holiday. A holiday is one event. I caution you about leftovers, second holidays, third holidays, and then we spiral into December, and there's the holiday parties, there's the get-togethers, and there's extra eating and drinking, and we're tired. Do you see where I'm going with this? Holiday. One day, decide what you're going to have. You've worked so hard on your habits and routines. It's so easy to digress and fall off, and it's really harder to get back on. So if you give yourself that permission to have that piece of pie and enjoy it, or have your favorite mashed potatoes, whatever it is, but have one, not this all or nothing mentality, which, hey, I am definitely guilty of all or nothing, but it doesn't work. All or nothing doesn't work. I hope if you've been following me long enough to know it's really small shifts in our habits and routines that is what's going to move the needle of our life. And at the end of the day, it's really about feeling good and living good. And we get to decide, but we have to know ahead of time. We have to be armed with our habits and our routines, because those keep us anchored in all the good things, like feeling good, right? We want to feel good, live good, and smile. I shared this in one of my lives. When we smile, it just lights up the room for everybody else. All right, I love keeping these short because I know everybody's busy, and I feel short, impactful, putting it to action are the key to success. If I were to do a long podcast and you loved it, but you didn't take any action, it wouldn't do you any benefit. So I'd rather do these short, or hey, let me know if you want longer content. I could do longer content, but at the end of the day, I want you to take action on your health. I want you to implement one habit. Today's recap on the upcoming holiday this week and also into December and January, stick with your routines. I can't emphasize that enough. That's going to be so important. Stick to those healthy routines. What are your non-negotiables? Make a list. What are you not willing to forego? And also front load your water. Make sure you're staying hydrated through the holidays. It's a holiday. not a holla month. I'm going to just give up on my health and I'll see you in January. Don't do that. You'll regret it. Your minds and body will thank you if you take care of it today and every day. And then the last thing, make sure you're moving your body. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Protein, water, exercise, smile, enjoy the holidays. If you are finding benefit in these shares, please share them with a friend, share them with everybody. At the end of the day, we are here to live a happy and healthy life, and it's one habit at a time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on a video. Happy holidays. I will see you, and I hope you have a very happy and healthy holiday season.